Well, good morning. It's a bit early. Just wanted to go out and pedal. Julie made it quite clear on the group last night she was not getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning for an early ride. I thought she was being specific, so I got up at 4. But no, she meant basically she wasn't getting up early, so I'm out on my own. But that's okay, because, well, it just means I can do what I like. Generally, when I get on the bike and go out for a ride, it's pretty boring. I'm probably just going to do a loop of the New Forest or something, and then come home. We've got a few jobs to do today, so probably not going to go too mad. I don't know how far it'll end up being. I just see how I feel as I go along. But I can tell you now, with this heat wave we've had, at 4:40 in the morning, it's blooming chilly. Yeah. And for all you cyclist types out there, I am actually in full lycra. Doesn't happen often, but when I'm just out to pedal, no video as such, not visiting anywhere, not, whatever it is, then I do actually wear the kit. I have to say, just at this moment, things aren't quite right down there, but I'm sure everything will fall into place. It's just the way it is sometimes, isn't it? Yeah, so I'm wearing Suka bib shorts and a Santic zip-up top, and it's blooming chilly. But I know I won't get cold. In truth, it probably is about 15-16 degrees. It's just there's a bit of dampness in the air. The sun is on its way up. There's a little bit of gold in the distance. I'll be riding into the sun for the first part of this ride. I've got a couple of batteries with me, about 2.5 hours of card in the GoPro. Yeah, a couple of foxes already, one just darted across in front of me there. And yeah, so we're going to see what happens. The GoPro batteries usually run out at about an hour and a half, but in this light it could be working a bit harder, so it might run out a little bit quicker. But we will be riding into the light, which is quite nice. I kind of always prefer riding into the light. I don't have to worry about how long the lights and the battery in the lights is going to last, because I know in about an hour's time it's going to be bright enough. It's not going to be a problem. And of course, when you're riding into the light, it usually means that the roads are empty if you're riding in the summer, because it's 4:40 in the morning. That said, it is a Saturday morning and Bournemouth is a holiday stroke party town, so I don't know, we'll see. There might be some excitement in town. There might be some some leery party goers on their way home. We'll see what happens. But once we get out of the town, absolutely nothing around. There goes there goes the fuzz. Right, nothing coming. Let's go round the roundabout. No need to go over the crossing. What's that one on? That one's on green. Hopefully that won't change. I'm close enough now that it wouldn't matter. That's the main A338 spur road down from Ringwood that we've just gone under at Cooperdene. That is for most traffic coming from London, Basingstoke, Guildford, you know, all the towns up towards yeah, up towards London. That's where most of that traffic will come into town. Noisy, noisy. Oh, he's going to change it. Look at that, he changed the lights. Ah, he was in the outside lane. I just assumed he was looking to turn right. And because he was in the outside lane, it changed the lights. Oh well. Right, I do have a car behind me. Will it go through its full rotation? I don't know. You would think it would be sophisticated enough to not have to do that. Obviously I'm wrong. Oh well. First stop of the day. I hope it's not going to be like that the whole time. I mean, it is the 13th, so anything could happen. But we'll see. Not too many traffic lights out in the New Forest, so it shouldn't be an issue. There we go. Right, plenty of room for everyone to go around me. Another one behind. That's it. All clear. Right, that's that bit done. Believe it or not, there's a bicycle lane here. They actually made it wider, I suppose, as part of the... No, it's probably before 2020, I'll be honest. But the lines are faded out completely. There's just a few here. But it's quite a wide road, so it's not too bad along here. We tend to go behind the houses on the right there. This is definitely the more convenient and the quickest route, but we don't always want to be in a hurry, so just use a couple of junctions at the back there, wiggle our way through a bit. Right, another car back. One of the things I like about riding in the morning, you can hear things coming from a mile away. They went straight on, so back on my own again. So this is Iford Bridge, heading towards Jumpers Corner. Iford Bridge is actually quite a good way to, or good place to get into the river. If you're a paddle boarder, canoeist, kayaker, that kind of thing. And you can go all the way down to Christchurch Harbour and out to the sea if you wish. It's like a little slipway under the bridge there. So it's quite easy access. It can get very busy though, because of course that's where everybody goes to get in the river. And they don't all necessarily paddle or whatever away. They use it as like a training area as well, so it can get quite busy because people get in the river and then stay there and just poodle around. Yeah, Julie said something about trying paddleboarding one day. I was absolutely shocked. I think she assumed that you'd spent as much time in the water as you do on top of the paddleboard. Well, of course, I don't think that's the idea. I think she's seen a few videos of people going out paddleboarding in just normal clothes, not falling in. And she said, oh, okay. It's not like windsurfing. And I think that's what she thought. It was like, you know, you get up and you paddle around until you fall in, but I dare say it's like that when you first start, but actually it isn't really how it works with paddleboarding, is it? And I don't think we'd be going for unstable racing boards. Well, I certainly wouldn't be. My weight on top of anything, it needs to be stable. Even on a bike. Obviously this is a very top heavy setup. As it is for most, I suppose. There's not many 10-kilogram riders out there, but I think you know what I mean. Yeah, so these Suka bib shorts are, well, when Suka got in touch with us originally, they asked us to send through measurements. And yeah, we did that, and they basically said, yes, we'll send Julie a kit, we don't have anything for you. Well, you know, it's fair enough. There's not many cycling kit companies that do. I know there are some out there that have larger sizes that work. I've got Endura winter soft shell jacket, which I just swear by. It's fantastic. And baggy shorts and stuff like that from Santic, which are probably the wrong shape, but they're big enough that they fit, which is nice. Yeah, which is that is one of the things about the larger sizes in cycling kit. It might be 3XL, 4XL, whatever it is, but they're still cut for a slim person who's possibly 6'6", as opposed to somebody my size, 5'9"-ish, and somewhat round rather than slim. So I do find that some of them are a bit tight around the thighs. I mean, bib shorts don't have a waistline, so certainly no problem around the middle. But yeah, around the thighs they can be a bit tight. But these Suka ones actually are pretty good. They're not too tight. yeah, the actual gripper. Well, it's not really a gripper actually. There is a little bit of grip there on the inside, but yeah, it's certainly not too tight, which is quite nice. Other bib shorts that I've bought definitely are. The other thing, of course, is that because they're made for tall people, they tend to come right down to my knees. But again, these Suka ones, not too bad. They clear my knee by quite a long way. So I'm really pleased with them. Even though they told me they didn't do sizes for me, these double XLs, which is the largest size they do, is not too bad. Right, car back. Hopefully I'll get onto the roundabout before he catches up. Yeah, shouldn't be a problem. Nice and chilly down here, right on the floodplain of the Stour. But that's okay. I don't mind things being a little bit chilly. Performance goes up, I think, in most things in life. Even machines, cars, engines, computers, people. Heat probably yeah, holds back performance rather than cold. In the UK we don't really get extremes of cold. You know, if ever we get a few days in a row of minus temperatures, well, certainly in the southern half of the country, everybody loses their mind and says it's some sort of Arctic blast. And of course the papers, they've got nothing better to do, so they just feed fuel on the flames, don't they? But in truth, we don't get anything to talk of really when it comes to weather. It's so mixed, and but at the same time so mild. I think for most countries in the northern hemisphere, sort of end of January, February, beginning of March, that's the cold period. Generally, this is a real generalisation because UK weather is a real generalisation, that's why we talk about it all the time. We have very short cold periods. We might get the occasional frost on the way up to Christmas, but it's generally pretty warm all the way through until after New Year. I mean, mild and wet a lot of the time, but I think that's why the whole idea of the UK being a rainy country is that we do have rain, or the possibility of rain, all year round. Where of course in a lot of countries you have a rainy period of the year, then you have your snowy, cold, icy period of the year, and then you have your spring and summer. And other places, of course, monsoon, so again a very specific rainy season, but we don't really have that in the UK because we don't have that snow and ice so much. It can rain anytime. But of course there will be people out there who might be listening to this thinking, you don't even know what rain is. And you're absolutely right, we don't. We get the occasional, you know, flash floods, and you know, certainly in recent times there have been floods, but I don't remember there not being through my lifetime. Maybe a bit more prevalent now in some areas, I don't know. But yeah, we certainly don't get monsoon type rain, and not very often. Doesn't mean we don't get, well, blue lights. Nice of them to go ahead. Yeah, maybe they're going to wait for me, they know something I don't. Anyway, yeah, maybe there are more floods now than there were. Certainly I would say that some housing estates have been built on what would be not floodplains, but areas that would soak up excess rainwater, and of course don't anymore. Maybe that's made a difference. But yeah, generally speaking, we don't get monsoon type rain. Oh, this is Winkton. Gonna head up towards Sopley, up to Ringwood. No traffic lights or junctions where we don't have priority, let's say, until Ringwood. And then we'll take a right turn and head into the forest. Right, what have we got? Let's have a bit of extra light so the camera's got something to focus on. Yeah, big full moon, well, nearly full moon, but it's big and bright. So it's already brightening up the sky to my left, and the sun is coming up on the right. So that tells you that I am travelling north at the minute. Christchurch to Ringwood. Now this was the main road, Christchurch to Ringwood, once upon a time. The spur road was built and took away most of the traffic from this road. Right, bumpy bits on this bridge, no chance of seeing them. There it is. Yeah, that's not bad actually. I didn't think I'd see them as early as that. So this light's not too bad at all. I'll grab a gear because I did slow down for the bridge a little bit, and ever so slightly uphill out of here. Let's have another one. I'm a little bit heavy at the moment. So a few weeks ago, on a Saturday morning, I did an early morning ride, 26 miles. This was part of the route, and I was in pretty good shape then. Yeah, whizzing along, loving it. Yeah. Things are not so good just at the minute. I was doing 16/8 fasting back then, not necessarily watching what I was eating, but more just not eating for that long period, and it was working really well actually. I don't know about weight loss. I didn't weigh myself at any point. That wasn't why I did it. No, all good. Yes, that wasn't why I did it. But I did find that I was definitely, I don't know, more alert, more energy, giving the body time to recuperate and fix itself and, you know, get over riding, eating and all the things we ask it to do in a day. Seemed to make a difference. You know, I'm in a fortunate position that I can kind of pick and choose when I eat. Obviously in a normal situation that would be whenever I feel like it, but because of the way work is and how I do things, I could well, I was basically doing fasting from 6:30 to 7 o'clock at night, right through to 10:30, 11 o'clock in the daytime. Car back, nothing in front. Well done, nothing to worry about there. Yeah, so even though I wake up early, I think that's an age thing, isn't it? I certainly seem to wake up earlier now than I ever did. I still wasn't really struggling to wait until 10:30, 11 to eat, because I was able to just busy myself. Julia's never eaten breakfast, ever. We did go through an Atkins phase about 20 years ago, and I tell you what, when you're in your 30s, oh yeah, Atkins is just unbelievable. You want to look fit, you want to lose weight and feel great, that's the way to go, in my experience. Lots of people will say about health, this, that and the other, but in truth we found it to be very, yeah, beneficial. Of course, is it a lifestyle that you can stick with forever? Not really, especially if you cycle, because of course when you cycle you're told eat cake, eat energy bars, you know, energy gels, sweets, chocolate. You need instant energy and this is the way to do it. So of course, if you're like me and carbohydrates really aren't your friend, then it's not the greatest thing to be doing. But of course you just kind of do it because you fit in with everybody else and the culture and everything else. I do find it strange he going to go? Well done. Yeah, I do find it strange that I can wear Hawaiian shirts on a bike ride. So resist the culture as far as the clothes go, but not really resist the culture when it comes to cake. Yeah, so anyway, the 16/8 thing worked really well. I wasn't doing it for long enough to make it habit. Then there was a couple of social events that of course just dented it. I'm not the most sociable person. I think after a while people just get fed up with you saying no. And I have to sort of remember that when people say, oh, you should come along to this, do that, thinking of going out, come along, they're actually being nice. And if you just keep saying no, well, you miss out on experiences, you miss out on having fun with your friends, just because you don't like social events. So I've been trying to say yes a bit more often, and of course that doesn't always fit in with lifestyle. However, what am I training for? It's not like I'm a professional athlete and have to stick to a really strict regime. So yes, unfortunately the habit hadn't formed quite strong enough to just go straight back to it. I will be trying again though as the winter comes, and with a couple of months before Christmas, hopefully I can get back into that, and I'll have been doing it long enough that Christmas won't be an issue. In truth, I think Christmas is a time when you tend to eat later anyway, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. There might be a couple of Christmas do's, but again, if I've been doing the 16/8 for long enough, I should be able to fall straight back into it. Fingers crossed. Yeah, so 16/8 and cycling. Well, on one weekend I did a gravel gorilla ride. It was 100k. It was more than that actually. Turned out to be 78 miles in the end. But yeah, no problem. I went out early, 5 o'clock in the morning, and did a bit of a loop on the Castleman Trail, took the long route to Ringwood, joined the gravel gorilla ride. I did take it easy to get there. Castleman Trailway is pretty flat, and even though there was the hill at Wimborne, it's quite early on. I had plenty of fuel on board from the night before, I'd had a decent meal at sort of 6:30, 7 o'clock, so I wasn't too worried about that. Obviously, if I stay below a certain heart rate and power, I'm essentially just burning fat. I've got plenty of that. As long as there's a little bit of carbohydrate in there just to keep the fire burning, then there's plenty of fat to burn and to keep me going. And it actually worked quite well. It was quite a tough gravel gorilla ride actually. I think it was only 6 or 7 of us, and it's generally quite social. But of course, when you get a small group and they're all quite you know, willing to get on with it, it can be a bit tougher. And we actually ended up getting back to Cafe Velo in Ringwood at about 11 o'clock. So it actually worked out perfect. I was able to refuel, as it were, immediately after the ride, and yeah, rest up a little for the ride home. And there was a guy on the group, Peter, you know, we cross paths quite often. He rides with the gorillas a lot, and he lives just down the road from us. So yeah, rode home together. We were going to take it easy, you know how it is. Didn't work out like that. But yeah, that cafe stop was perfect. I was fueled and ready to go. I thought I'd be weary and tired, but actually it worked fine. And I do find that actually eating slows me down. I really need to eat very, very small amounts when I'm riding. But how long are we in now? Yeah, I should have had a drink by now, shouldn't I, really? Yeah, I'm always at my fastest when I first get on the bike. I guess that makes sense. Full of energy, ready to go. Yeah, even if you don't feel like it, you are at your freshest at the beginning of a ride. But as soon as I stop and eat, I feel quite sluggish. Takes a while to get over that. If it's a fast ride, I sometimes feel ready for food and drink, but actually I need to curb that. I generally don't run out of energy. I slow down for sure, but I don't run out of energy. Again, as long as there's a little bit of carb in there, just to keep the fire burning, the fat will take care of the rest. Now, I know some people will say that's not how it works. That's how it works for me. Because we've got to remember that there are all types of body shape, all types of body stomach acids and what have you. We're not all exactly the same. Yes, calories in, calories out is a generality that kind of works. Some of us have the willpower for it and the time. Some of us don't. However, yeah, I do find that sweet sugary stuff just sends me into a sugar coma. I believe that's what it's called. and it just takes me a while to get out of that slump. Alright, so we're running into Ringwood now. I thought it'd be lighter than this by now. 5:20. The daylight is definitely getting shorter. Yeah, 5 o'clock a month ago was basically daylight. Definitely isn't now. It is definitely warming up. Or am I warming up? No, the air that's hitting me now is mild. Doop-a-doop. Right, a little bit of bum rest. "45 minutes in. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling those slight inclines at the moment. Which I wasn't a couple of weeks ago. Next bit can be a bit dodgy, a bit narrow, road surface isn't great, dark, though I see they have actually patched up some of the road. Hopefully shouldn't be a problem. Ringwood is one of the market towns on the edge of the New Forest. Had a cattle market for years, but that's now got, I think it's a Waitrose built on that part of the town, but still has a market. Is it Wednesdays? Ringwood Market? Probably is. Okay, why did the light flash? Ah, it's telling me low battery. I wondered what happened when the battery got low. That's quite useful. Feature I didn't know about. But, it's still on. It just flashed and the battery light's gone red. It might even have gone down onto a lower setting, or maybe not. Yeah, it is on a lower setting. It's not letting me adjust the settings now. But it is almost daylight, so that's worked quite well actually. We actually got to test the lights last night. First time in a long time we've been out late enough that it's been actually dark and not just dusk when we've got home. And I would say that this light is probably, well, it's easily good enough around town. Fantastic. I'm not sure it's bright enough and has the range for gravel tracks in pitch black, but make a great helmet light, I think. It's going to keep flashing, isn't it? Okay. Well, if it can last long enough to get out to the Alice Lyle and past these narrow windy bits, then it's job done. It has served its purpose. So that's lasted about an hour this morning and probably a good hour and a half last night. on a variety of settings. A bit of high last night for sure. That's not too bad. Of course, as the nights draw in, I'll do a full, full charge to flat and see how long it lasts. I think with cycling gear, everybody can get a different experience. Maybe expectations are higher or lower for different products. So I don't really like to recommend as such. But with things like lights, it's easy, isn't it? You just go out and use them. And people either like what they see or they don't. Actually, let's go up. Yeah, you can't really argue with, battery life time. Certainly got bigger lights from like Magic Shine for pitch black gravel trails. They're a bit big and bulky for most applications, so a little light like this, 1200 lumens, a couple of hours of battery life, for round town and commuting, or as I say, a helmet light, and absolutely perfect. I think. Thought I heard something coming. Yeah. It does have a Bluetooth button which you can control from the handlebars, but yeah, I don't see any need for that. It's easy enough just to press the button. Where would I put it? I'd have to take my hand off to get to the button. Maybe on a flat bar, make more sense. It's getting a bit cooler again. Now, which way? Let's go this way. It's a bit of a loop out here. This is where it closes, so you can go one way or the other. I'm not feeling very heroic this morning, so I shall go in the direction where the hills are more manageable. Woo! That's chilly, but nice. Yeah, really warmed up in Ringwood. But there are definitely little cold patches out here. Little bit of bum rest. Yeah, things didn't quite fall back into the right position there. But no problem. Ibsley service station. That's grown over the years. Big workshops at the back now. Do a lot of work. It's businesses like independent garages, isn't it, that stalwarts of the community. Right, that's battery 1 done. Yes, didn't last the usual hour and a half. I'm guessing that's because it's dark and it's been working hard to process that. The light is still soldiering on. Definitely chillier out here. I don't mind that. But very soon that sun is going to break the tree line and things could heat up pretty quick. Been in the 30s most of this week. Which is not so unusual, but it has been continuous, which is a bit more unusual. Next week it's supposed to yeah, really cool off. Yeah, mid-20s, so not that cool, and probably a bit more in line with UK summer, mid to high 20s is quite normal in the summer. Right, can't hear anything. Okay, all good. Right, first hill coming up. Now we could turn left there and go all the way up to Salisbury, but I think that would be a bit too far. We would be definitely riding in the heat. I'm going to take it easy. I apologise now for the middle-aged panting that's about to happen. Right, let's have that. Okay, now what's going on there? Ah, okay. Whew. Whew. Going up to Hyde. Whew. It's a bit stingy. That's it. Eases off again. There we go. There are other ways. That's probably the more manageable for somebody my size anyway. There we go. Back on the flat. Big downhill to come. Okay. That's quite a hill, that. Okay. You know that as you come over the crest of a hill, if it takes a little bit longer than you'd like before you can see the bottom, it's going to be steep. And that one is steep. Probably need a 60 tooth to actually pedal down it. Well, the light, cattle grid after a ford, yeah, try and stay upright, try and stay straight. Yes, the light is still soldiering on. Right, again, let's take our time, shall we? Ooh. A bit steeper than I remember. Or like I say, hills are a bit harder than a few weeks back. Whew. There we go. Right. Okay, all clear. Heading to Sandy Balls. Sandy balls. Yeah, I won't be doing 18 in a minute. Just ever so slightly uphill this next bit for a few miles. And very windy. The Wahoo will say it's zero gradient. My lungs and legs will say otherwise. Not difficult, just gradual. Woo! Right, that's better. There we go. Keep forgetting to drink. I'm a bit of a bugger for that. That said, I am sweating, so the body's obviously got enough hydration that it's happy to let it go. So this is the Roger Penny Way. In the daytime, a lot of traffic, moving fast. One of the main routes from Fordingbridge to the motorway. Always windy. Fighting the hills and the wind. That's a great view, and that sun just breaking the tree line. Already starting to feel the warmth. Yeah, this is pretty tough right now. Headwind. It's really pushing me back. Trying to maintain a reasonable speed. Of course, that makes it worse. But there is a downhill on the way. Quickly followed by an uphill, but let's not worry about that. The bad news is I feel that I'm turning into it, so it could get worse. Right, I think I'll be running out of battery in a minute. So I've got to keep my ears open for that. Hopefully it won't be halfway down the hill or halfway up. That would actually be worse. Right, a little bit of bum rest into the downhill. first couple of cyclists I've seen. No, there was one other, wasn't there? Right, definitely get some bum rest down here. Definitely won't be making it up here in the 13 cog. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Pushed it a bit too far. Nearly there. Have a bent tooth on that cog. You can just hear it clicking actually. Woo! Sun. Yeah. I need a new cassette. I need to remember to order one when I get back. Yeah, I got a bent tooth and it doesn't like staying in gear. And if I'm on the one just below, it just clicks against the chain. But it doesn't really stop me riding, so every time I thought, I must get a new cassette. By the time I've got home, I've forgotten about it. Today, I won't, because I'll do this video and it'll remind me. Order a new cassette. Right. Battery still going. The light has now switched itself off, but that's no big deal. All it's really doing now is holding me back. Bit of aero drag. But let's be honest, compared to the big blob on the saddle, yeah, it's nothing, is it? Right, predominantly downhill from here. This is kind of the highest point of the ride. And we are definitely heading back. Yeah, rear light's still working. It could be quite slow on the way back. We'll just see how it is with the wind. There's quite a bit of shelter in places, so hopefully not too bad. Gonna head down the runway in a minute. That is always windy one way or the other. Fingers crossed it's in our favour, but I know it won't be. I shall just ride on in hope. Okay, here we go. Average speed has gone up, so I don't know if that's because it's slightly downhill or if we have actually got some wind assistance. Oh no, I think what little wind there is behind. So let's find that sweet spot where we even up the drag with the wind behind. Soft pedal, conserve energy. Yeah, nice. Back down into zone 3, 25 miles an hour. Oh yeah, it doesn't get much better than this, does it? Maybe pushing it a bit too hard. Just gone back up into zone 4. Just ease off a little. That's better. starting to warm up for sure. I can feel the sun now. A long shadow to my right, which you should be able to see in front of me now as I go round. Still doing 24 mile an hour. Zone 3. Slightly uphill for this next bit. Nothing behind me. Take the smooth bit of the road. Got it down to 142 beats per minute. Still nothing behind me. Just waiting for the beep of the camera now. Must be close to battery change time. Alright, got a car up, heading this way. Could be a motorbike actually. There it is. Yeah, feeling the wind now. It does actually turn, though it's the runway and is straight. There are a few corners in it. Definitely back into the wind again now. But that was fun all the same. Right, donkeys at the junction here. They of course get priority. Sun's up. I'm thinking, come on, let's get out there. There we go. Right, how's this camera doing? No, it's not bad actually. It's amazing the difference processing in the light makes to the battery life. Definitely just starting to feel the warmth of the sun, but there is still just a little bit of chill in the breeze that's hitting me. Perfect riding conditions, really. Great visibility, nice and clear. Yeah, wonderful. Julie does not know what she's missing. Well, she does, if she watches the video. That's, of course, if I upload the video. I mean, I can just hear one of my spokes tinkling. I did replace a spoke on the back wheel of this. Yeah, Tuesday night on the way back from drinks down at Muddyford Quay. Met up with Philip, Ben and Matt. Yeah, got home, got off the bike, wheeled it in the house, and as I went in through the front gate, dink, and one of the spokes snapped. It's strange that it snapped when I wasn't on the bike. Anyway, I've replaced that, and now of course I keep listening thinking, is that all right? Can I hear a spoke? But I will have to just recheck it, of course, because this is the first proper ride since I fitted it. Give it a chance to bed in, recheck the tension, true it up again just to make sure. We should be good to go. Yeah, for anybody who has a Triban, I went into Decathlon with the part number of the wheel, asked for a spoke. He didn't have a clue. He said there's so many different types of wheel and spoke length, and I understand that to a point, but these are the standard wheels that they use on a lot of bikes. You'd think that they'd know what part it is, but apparently not. So I took the wheel in and we measured it. 282 millimeters. 280 I've got on here, but yeah, you could get away with a 280 or a 282. What I'll do is I'll put the wheel part number on the screen so you can same it up. He did say there's sometimes a combination of different hubs, so maybe they don't use the same parts every time. All right, how you doing?
What's your YouTube channel?
Oh, do you really?
Yeah,
So, not in the Hawaiian shirt today, but you still recognise me.
How you doing this,
Yeah, I just thought I'd get out early before the sun comes up.
yeah, it's lovely, isn't it?
Leave the missus in bed.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Actually wear proper cycling kit and get out and do it. There you go. What's your name?
David.
Oh, David.
Nice to see you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a good ride actually. Where you ride out from?
I'm riding out to Cranbourne,
Oh, okay. And you?
and I came from hiking.
Oh, right. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So that'll be what, 100k? By the time you've gone round?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Nice.
Depends on enthusiasm.
Yes.
There's a good few shortcuts back, so.
Yes, that can take its toll, can't it? Ugh.
Is he much there?
No, actually,
Really?
strangely.
I've seen most I've ever seen in Brooklyn.
Oh, really?
Every
Okay.
other turn, yeah.
Lots of donkeys.
Lots of donkeys.
Yeah. I think the deer are over that side more. Well then. It's a good looking machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
It's nice actually.
Yeah,
It's the main. It's a big brand, but
absolutely. But
sort of the bottom bracket out. It's quite nice.
yeah, I can't bring myself to go for carbon just yet. I always feel like it's just going to fold up underneath me. I know it won't, but
Yeah, I had a tag before.
right.
There's not that much.
Yeah,
It's not a ton of difference really.
that is chilly through there. Oh, let me get.
Sneaky gradient there.
Yeah. Yeah, I've just been saying that. Yeah, I put a bit of weight on the last couple of weeks, and I'm feeling it.
It's amazing looking at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tiniest bit of weight you do feel.
Yeah. So is that your go-to ride, Cranbourne?
Yeah. Yeah, straight to Dorset. I live
Nice.
in New Forest, but I don't ride there much.
Right.
In the summer, that is.
Yeah, you got to get out early.
I don't really like us. Dorset, I find, yeah, you can get out to, yeah, Cranbourne, all those roads.
Yeah. It's quiet, isn't it?
Yeah, nice and quiet.
Even when we ride, you know, quiet lanes in other places, they're never as quiet as Dorset.
They're not, I always say that.
Yeah. Right, I'll probably leave you here then. I guess you're going that way. All right, take it easy, David. Cheers. More donkeys. Right. Wheeler spotted. Right, how's this battery doing? Yeah, still a third. Yeah, nice Trek there. Couldn't tell you the model number or name. It just said Trek. It was a very nice deep red. Yeah, lovely looking bike. he was saying that even though he's now got a very nice sort of carbon frame bike, doesn't make a huge amount of difference, the carbon fibre side of it, and I can understand that. If an aluminium frame is 400 grams heavier, well, that's half a water bottle, isn't it? So if you put all the same components on it, in theory it should only be 400 grams heavier. Of course, ride characteristics and that might be slightly different, compliance, that sort of thing, but as far as weight goes, yeah, probably not much in it. I like the way that on GCM, when they talk about different frame materials, they say things like an aluminium frame can be twice the weight of a carbon frame. Yeah, it can be, generally isn't, but that kind of puts the idea in people's minds that aluminium bikes are twice as heavy as carbon bikes, doesn't it, the way they word it. Well, we all know that's not true, don't we? I don't think Julie and I struggle terribly to keep up with those on fancy carbon fibre bikes. Do we use more energy? Well, yes, of course. I mean, I'm huge, she's a woman, so she's always using as much energy as she can to keep up, and I have to use all the energy I've got to overcome friction, weight, gravity, all those things. Of course, I understand how it would make a difference at the very top end. If you're an athlete, it makes sense. You want every opportunity, every advantage that you can. Yeah, it makes absolute sense. We are thinking about a new, lighter, faster, hello, bike for Julie. Not because she needs to be faster, she certainly doesn't, but it would be nice if she didn't have to use quite so much energy to keep up, you know. So I don't think other people are going to ride faster, so in a bunch, in a group ride, she should be able to maintain the group speed, but you know, make it easier for her. I mean, sometimes she is absolutely shattered. Fortunately, she doesn't seem to get injured, so that's a good thing. Forgetting to drink again. Anyway, yeah, so we're looking at a carbon fibre endurance bike. Ideally it would be a Liv Avail. She likes her Liv, she sees no reason to go to a different brand. Yeah, and that is really the only option in the Liv range. All the others are a bit speedy and not really built for comfort. Okay, what have we got? Might be a bit more traffic, but no. Oh, back into Ringwood. Let's get a move on. That's the time. I don't need to know about that. Right, route, end, yes, cool. Right, 25 to 7. Very little chance of seeing Madam before 10 o'clock, I would have thought. So I get home, download the video, and then I'll think about whether I put the whole thing up or not. What are we on? Yeah, 36.5 miles so far. So that doesn't seem right somehow. But okay. Might be on for 50 miles. Gonna head back down Matcham's Lane, I think. Could go Sopley, Christchurch, but I don't know that I got the memory card for that. And so far we've been 2 hours. And when I left it said memory card 2.5. So we may or may not get home and get the full ride. Don't think it matters. Alright, traffic. No, we're all good. Yeah. Through the marketplace. I don't know if we can get along by the river. There were big cranes and the new bridge portions were all lined up ready to lift. So we'll have to see. It might be closed. If so, we'll have to go round somehow. Let's have a look. That little cut through there. Yeah, all good. Over the years has been one way in both directions. Currently it's one way that way. I wonder how long that'll last. Right, this is the Moor Bus Ringwood Depot. Right, can we get through? Might have lifted them in actually. Let's have a look. Big cranes, that's for sure. Don't know. It's possible they have. Yeah, it's possible they have. Anyway, main thing is it looks like we can get through. All that really matters right now that's that cog. Right, all good. Seem to have ridden along here a lot recently. But while the road's closed up here, it's a lot quieter. It's actually quite an enjoyable road to ride. It's not flat, it's got some undulations, no big hills, quite interesting. Right, let's just take it easy up onto the top. There we go. Yeah, this is hard work. I don't know if the wind's swirling in the trees, but yeah, I can feel this. Deer. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Probably tried to escape and hit the fence. That said, the A338 over there, he wouldn't have got much change out of that. I'm pretty sure that's why these barriers have been put up. Bit of noise control, but also stops the deer from jumping through the hedges onto the main road. won't be getting any PRs along here today. Right, second battery change. It would decide to change at the bottom of a hill, wouldn't it? But, there we go. Right, van behind me. A little ways off. Plenty of room, no cars coming, good view. Shouldn't be a problem. Just taken a drink as well. I could have done it all at the same time. All right. Slowly build back up. Can definitely feel those hot pockets of air now as I'm going through the shadows here. Always nice and cool through here. Works like a temperature well. All the land around it is slightly higher, so all the cold air gathers on the road here. Oh, it's lovely, refreshing, invigorating, I would almost say. I've actually got the Garmin watch set to remind me to drink every half an hour. Unfortunately, I don't actually feel the vibration. Sometimes I do. But I think I turned the vibration down to save battery. And now, of course, it's not quite strong enough. I'll have to have a look at the settings. Right, car back. Let's slow early. I don't want him running right up behind me. Right, all clear that way. Yeah, all good. Stay out because I want to turn right at the roundabout. Right, I can cruise around here. The one down the inside may not see me, he has. Okay, so what are we on? 43 miles. We won't make it to 50. More like 45. An average of 18.4. That's not too bad. Over 40 miles. It's about to start slowing because got gravel track, riverside pathway, pedestrians, but might be able to make it up a little bit on the road the other side, but not for long because it's all uphill. So some of it we might be able to make up. And of course these are quite tight lanes and cars do come down here because you can park on this side as well to go down to the river. But we'll have to be slightly careful. Gateway here that does get used. From time to time. Right. A little bit gravelly that corner. It's never been a problem, that corner, but it's the idea, I think, more than anything. Leaves there as well. Definitely slippery if it rains. I'm sure it's absolutely fine in this weather. Okay. Stinging nettles. Not too bad though. Needs to be a little bit careful along here because you've got a lot of dog walkers. But I think we're early enough that it shouldn't be too busy. Right, a bit of cyclocross. Yeah, Richard and I came through here about a month ago, 3 weeks ago, maybe more, and it was just at the start of the really hot weather, and of course the top had crusted and broken up into what I can only describe as little ball bearings. It was interesting on the skinny tyres. No rush, mate. No rush at all.
Sorry, mate.
No, no problem. No problem. In fact, this.
I'm in a world of my own.
Well, this isn't much fun on these skinny tyres anyway.
It's
So.
horrible to walk on now. It's automatic.
Right. Headphones, yes or no? I don't know. Don't know about the bone conduction ones. Julie's got a pair, I've never really tried them. They sound like a good idea. Noise cancelling ones. Yeah, I don't know. For's and against. I guess mostly against from a safety point of view. But you know, do you wear headphones to be safe or to enjoy the music? So I guess it's your different situation where you are. I suppose it's like helmets and things, isn't it? I guess in some places in the world you should almost certainly wear body armour when you're out on your bike, and then there are other places where it's just not necessary. You know, infrastructure is fantastic, it's just not needed. Right. That's all right, I'm going round. Thank you. Yeah. Morning. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. All the nettles and that have grown up, so you can't really go charging around these paths at the moment because you just simply cannot see what's the other side. Yeah, we're okay. I remember when you could get two bikes side by side through here. I quite like the idea of rewilding, but sometimes I think they ought to just come out and cut things back, you know? Right, back out onto the road. Bit of gravel. It is a Wheelers at Large ride after all. Get on with it. Yeah, well done. Right, all clear. Yes. 7:10. Still quiet. Yeah, nice. And even though I can feel some warmth, certainly not hot yet. So I think we're going to get back just in time. Yeah, I think coffee, Marmite on toast maybe. Almost certainly be coffee for one. Can't see Madam being awake yet. What we got? Okay, what we got? Last climb of the day. Always want to try and keep momentum here, but yeah, we're good. Nearly at the top. All good. Quite literally, all downhill from here. They're a little bit tight, so you can't always take advantage of it. Ha! Just see my average watts. That's big. 264. Come on, Mr. Asda, get a move on. I don't want to get too tight because I can't see round him. That's a shame. Good on him for not charging around in these roads. But a little bit of a shame. Could have been a fast finish there. Anyway, if you've watched this far into the video, go and ride your bike. Say what you want in the comments. Like it if you want to, dislike it if you want to. But join us for the next one.